Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this week's weekly recap of 5 choice videos that has been covered on this channel in the course of the week. So now this is now a regular fixture now on this channel. Every Sunday we represent 5 choice videos from the channel for your lazy Sunday listening. So without too much ado, we'll get straight into it and we go to the first one. But for the first one, we're going back in time to the year 2018. The location is the White House in Washington, and the protagonists are Donald Trump and our very own Malam Buhari. So you will recall, of course, when Malam Buhari went to America in 2018, it was a much trumpeted journey. It was a much trumpeted trip. So in the course of that visit, he had a private meeting with Donald Trump. There were just the two of them in the office. And Malam Buhari now has since come out in the public to tell us what transpired, and what he said is covered in this first video. So enjoy. They cannot be cascading throughout the entirety of the Nigerian space, and the authorities are not able to grab hold of at least one of them to say, we have caught this one and we are going to make an example of this one. Not once in all of the years of Malam Buhari. They may have done it and I'm not aware, but I am not aware that they have ever caught any of these people, never mind prosecuting them. And that, of course, then lends credence to the general understanding, especially within the southern part, that these people are actually backed by a Rock. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, this is a question that we're all asking in Nigeria, but we cannot ask it openly for fear of our DSS Yusuf Bichi, for fear of what is to follow. So thank goodness then for Donald Trump stepping into the breach. As guys, I bring you this. When I was alone with Trump in the White House, he asked me, why are you killing Christians? A headline attributed to Malam Buhari. So a question, as I said, that we're all asking under our breath, but then of course the American president does not have to hold that question under his breath. So again, the headline: when I was alone with Trump in the White House, he asked me, why are you killing Christians? A headline attributed to President Buhari. So now let's now see how that played out. President Muhammadu Buhari has revealed what happened when he visited United States President Donald Trump at the White House in April 2018. According to Buhari, Trump called him into his office at the White House and during a private moment asked him, why are you killing Christians? President Buhari said he had to explain to Trump that the killing of Christians in Nigeria has got nothing to do with ethnicity or religion, but was a clash between cattle herders and farmers, which had increased due to climatic change and population growth, as well as the leadership failure of previous administrations. Buhari said this on Tuesday, September 8 in Abuja at the first year ministerial performance review retreat of his second term. Buhari, speaking on Tuesday, September 8 in Abuja at the first year ministerial performance review retreat of his second term, said he told Trump that the clashes between cattle herders and farmers could be blamed on poor government performance by previous administrations, population growth, and climate change. I believe I was about the only African amongst the least developed countries that the President of the United States invited, and when I was in his office, only myself and himself, and only God as a witness, he looked at me in the face and said, why are you killing Christians? I wondered if I were you, I wondered how you would react. I hope what I was feeling inside did not betray me before him. So I understood it. The problem between cattle rearers and stagnant farmers, I know which is older than me, not to talk of him, because I think I am a couple of years older than him, were happening, and there was climate change and population growth. I tried to explain to him that it has got nothing to do with ethnicity or religion. It is a cultural thing which respective leadership failed the nation, Buhari said. So Buhari, of course, now trying to explain away. And by the way, this cultural thing that he's saying, this is something that has been happening long before there was an explosion in the Nigerian population. This is very much a thing that is led by religion and not ethnicity. And the spike in it is because now these people feel that they have one of their own now in the driving seat of the nation, and they are taking full advantage of that, because we see Miyetti Kutehari on the news almost virtually on a daily basis, speaking to this particular mindset that they will continue to do as they will and nobody can stop them. And by the way, the grand patron, the life patron of Miyetti Kutehari is Malam Buhari. He is their life patron, and for as long as he lives, he will continue to be the leader of that organization. And the problems, the attacks that we're seeing is largely led by this group, Miyetti Kutehari. So for him to then go to the White House and lie to Donald Trump's face is just making a fool of himself, by the way, because Donald Trump would have had all of the intelligence from their operatives in Nigeria to give him a clear picture of what is going on. So it is not even a matter of Malam Buhari being older than Donald Trump. It's a matter of intelligence. The Americans will probably have more almost certainly have more intelligence as to what is going on within the Nigerian space than all of the security agencies in Nigeria, and certainly Malam Buhari. So for him to go and say that it is nothing to, because they are seeing the news too. The American embassy is seeing the news. They are seeing the antics of Miyetti Kutehari, and they are seeing how the Igbos are being treated. So the Igbos are saying they are being marginalized, and then you go and mow them down. And Miyetti Kutehari is going on national television to say we will continue to pelt against these people and we will never stop. And nobody has once asked a question of these people. They have offices, according to the perceived general understanding within the Nigerian space. This Kutehari, they have offices within the presidency. So this is really what is going on. And Trump was exactly right, of course, to call him out on this thing, because that is exactly at the heart of the matter. I mean, I don't even have to convince anybody. You all read the papers, you all see the news. The churches being mowed down, the churches being demolished in Kaduna by our little man there, etc., etc. So that is the body language that they are sending as a signal to these people that we are behind you, and carry on. So not on one instance have we ever seen any of these people arrested, never mind being prosecuted, and there's plenty enough of their atrocities for one at least to have been arrested. They cannot be cascading throughout the entirety of the Nigerian space, and the authorities are not able to grab hold of at least one of them to say we have caught this one and we are going to make an example of this one. Not once in all of the years of Malam Buhari. I mean, they may have done it and I'm not aware, but I am not aware that they have ever caught any of these people, never mind prosecuting them. And that, of course, then lends credence to the general understanding, especially within the southern part, that these people are actually backed by Asurok. Conversations in the comment section. Donald Trump has asked our dear leader the question that we're all too frightened to ask him, that why are you doing this? What says you? Come share thought. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me then in the comment section. Come tell me what you're making of this poser that Donald Trump has thrown in the way of our Malami. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So now we leave Malam Buhari for a moment and we go to his wife, Aisha. Now, a lot of you, if not most of you really, will recall that there has been a wedding recently at the villa, at the Aso Rock Villa. The first wedding ever to take place in that place, and it was between the daughter of Malam Buhari and Aisha, a young lady called Hanan, and a chap called Turad. So now that was the wedding, and of course, good luck to them is the first thing to say. But of course, not everybody is of that good luck to them thought. Now, there's a cartoonist with a newspaper called Daily Trust that did a cartoon to gently mock at these people, especially at the wedding. Now, this cartoon drew the anger of Mrs. Buhari, Aisha Buhari, and that anger is expressed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, a good example to determine how far back the Nigerian nation has regressed is to compare the last two regimes. So we're talking Goodluck Jonathan and we're talking Malam Buhari. So now under Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria enjoyed what was as far as the African nations third world country is concerned, Nigeria enjoyed what was near perfect freedom of speech. You could say anything about the president and the presidency, and the worst that would happen would that they would argue back and say that no, you are wrong, this is what we did. That was what we had under Goodluck Jonathan's regime. So now under Malam Buhari's regime, not only can you not say anything critical about the regime, if you do not wake up in the morning and immediately as part of your morning prayers say the words that Malam Buhari is the greatest leader ever and the greatest human being on the planet, if you do not say that, the DSS Yusuf Bichi will be sent after you to come and waylay your life. Guys, I bring you this. Aisha Buhari attacks Daily Trust artist Baluma over cartoon on daughter's lavish wedding. So this is now where we have degenerated to within the Nigerian space, and I do find myself saying that in virtually every video now, that this is now where we have degenerated to within the Nigerian space, but then they always find a new low that makes it necessary for me to repeat that phrase. So again, the headline: Aisha Buhari attacks Daily Trust artist Baluma over cartoon on daughter's lavish wedding. So now let's now see how this played out. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Buhari has attacked a Daily Trust employee, Baluma Mustafa, over a cartoon on the lavish wedding of her daughter, Hanan. The elaborate wedding ceremony held last Friday at a time many Nigerians were complaining of the hardship as a result of President Muhammadu Buhari's government's harsh economic policies. On Sunday, Daily Trust published a cartoon showing the president's wife holding pictures of the wedding on her hands and displaying them in the faces of Nigerians struggling to find their balance in life. The cartoon drew inspiration from Aisha's several posts on Instagram where she displayed pictures of Hanan's wedding. In reaction to the cartoon, Mrs. Buhari said children of Nigerian leaders had the right to get married, whether they were performing or not. Aisha spokesperson Aliyu Abdullahi told BBC Pidgin that Hanan's wedding was a low-key ceremony. The cartoon of Mustafa Baluma trending is very unfair because the wedding wasn't in any way insensitive to what Nigerians are going through. In fact, because of that, Mrs. Buhari held a meeting with her staff and told us that she wants the wedding to be low-key with no massive celebration. The photo she posted of the couple for social media was to thank all well-wishers and not to rub it on Nigerian faces. Supporters of President Buhari had earlier described Daily Trust as a toilet paper over the cartoon. This has further proved that your publication is a toilet paper and should be trashed in the bottom of the pit of hell. Shame on you, one of them said. Another supporter of Buhari, Abdul Ishaka, said, "Dear Daily Trust toilet paper, what is really the meaning of this disgusting cartoon? This is pure evil and hate-mongering. Aisha Buhari and her family did a very quiet wedding for their child, and you have a place in your dark heart to mock them. So this is now the response that Buhari supporters, and by the way, a lot of these so-called Buhari supporters, you have to understand that they are sponsored comments. These are people that have just been paid to make these comments oftentimes. I'm not saying in this instance, but generally this is the perceived wisdom within the Nigerian space, is rent a mob, rent a crowd, and rent a quotation, rent a columnist, and rent anything, etc., just to promote your own perspective. But then, of course, this wedding, there was never a chance that it was never going to be criticized, because Nigerians resent this Malam Buhari. They've always hated him. They never wanted him. He was foisted on the Nigerian space by Tinubu in the first instance, and he rigged himself back in. And the reasons why Nigerians have always hated him have been playing out since this guy came into power, just riding roughshod over the lives of 200 odd million people, and just treating the whole people of the nations as a trash, as a servant. Of course, is an ethnic jingoist, a religious bigot. He suffers from an arrogance of ignorance, and that arrogance of ignorance really is what you find most with people like Malam Buhari. People who know nothing, which is not a bad thing, because of course not everybody would know, but if you know nothing but then you think you know it all, then you're a problem. And if you have some potency, then you would end up as Malam Buhari has ended up now, and whoever is subject to your potency will suffer a very harsh and brutal time, which is what Nigeria is going through now. So the arrogance of ignorance and the cluelessness, the bigotry, the ethnic agenda, and the religion, also they just hate Malam Buhari. I think we all know that. So anything that he does, even if he finds the cure to cancer, people would not buy it, and they will lambast him for it. For them now to be having this, they are saying it's low key, but then you go to Dubai to go and buy a wedding all the way from Dubai, and import a wedding from Dubai to come and play out in Aso Rock for your daughter. She wants to be like an Arabian princess, to do an Arabian princess themed wedding, but of Nigerian money for your daughter. So that's already offensive. And then we see them spraying dollars and spraying, I'm not sure if it was dollars, but we certainly saw them spraying money, which is against Nigerian laws. And this is something that has been highlighted recently. And this again is yet another example of these people riding roughshod over the laws of the country. So the laws are there, but then they place themselves above it, because of course there is nobody to call them to account. Who can call them to account? The Minister of Justice, he can't call them to account. The police chief is their errand boy. Everybody in the government, they've just packed the whole place with their tribesmen who have loyalty to them and their errand boys, and this is just them placing themselves above the law. And this Hanan Buhari especially, a lot of Nigerians resent her as well. One, because of how she treated that man from Delta, Anthony Okolie, just for the guy being allocated a mobile number that she had abandoned and the telecoms company had recycled to give this guy. So they resent her for that, and then they also resent the way that she uses the presidential fleet as her own personal Uber service to fly around the country and lord it over the entirety of the nation. So there was never a chance that this was never going to be criticized. And you have to be thick-skinned enough to take the criticism, because of course we all saw what Goodluck Jonathan went through, and he never sent anybody to go and arrest anybody for having an opinion that was critical of him. But then of course, with the Malam Buhari, it's like Kim Jong-un of North Korea or something. If you don't go their leader every single day, then you have broken the law and you're subject to arrest. So this is the system now, and it is a high time now that this Aisha Buhari understands that they are hated figures within the Nigerian space, and we're looking for a way to get them out of our lives. So her now saying she's having some wedding and posting photos because she wants to be part of society. She cannot be part of society because the Yoruba people define society within the Nigerian space, because of course the media is led by the Yorubas and people of course get their news from the media. So she cannot be part of society is what we're saying. Conversations in the comment section, the abuse of power, it seems to be in the DNA of these people. What says you? Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of the way these people are riding roughshod over Nigerians and lording it over us. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So now we leave Aso Rock for a moment and we go to the show business world. So we're going to visit a lady called Toke Makinwa. This lady apparently is much admired within her industry, but that is starting to become a burden on her. All that is expressed in this next video, so enjoy. Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I decided to make a video about this particular story because there's a lot in it that I agree with and there's a lot in it that I am not too sure about. Guys, I bring you this. Stop calling me your role model. Toke Makinwa says as she reveals the pressure on her is too much. So here is now a role model within the Nigerian space. Now, I have to make a full disclosure here. I'm not too familiar with the work of this Toke Makinwa. I'm not sure if she's a singer, an actress, or whatever she is, but nevertheless, she's a name that recurs within the Nigerian society pages. So again, the headline, stop calling me your role model. Toke Makinwa says as she reveals the pressure on her is too much. So now let's now see what pressure this lady feels she's under. Toke Makinwa has asked parents to stop putting pressure on her by telling her their daughters look up to her. She has also asked people to stop making her their role model. She explained that the pressure placed on her to be a role model has to stop. She further advised parents to raise their kids to see themselves as work in progress. I have to read this properly because I'm not too keen on all that I got sort of language. So I'll read it properly as opposed to how she's written it. She wrote, guys, I've got to get this off my chest. Please stop calling me your role model. I am no one's role model. Myself, I am looking for role model. The pressure of my kids love you and you are their role model has to stop. Raise your kids to see themselves as work in progress. She added, if a part of my life inspires you, by all means, use it as a guideline to be better. Please, I am also trying out this thing called life. I am not perfect. I will disappoint you with no apologies. I disappoint myself too. The difference is I get up and move on. I accept all my flaws. I am under no pressure to fit into your ideal of what perfection looks like. I am figuring myself out too. Please be inspired, but don't pressure me to be a role model. I love my loud, goofy, silly, witty self too much to submit to your standard. To summarize all that I have said, I will still FUCK up plenty. I will make not so smart decisions. I am willing to live and learn and not put up a front of perfection. Stop with the pressure. I won't live up to your expectations and I am at peace on my own pace. So that is what she has to say. But what struck me really is this idea of a role model, because this thing, it bothers me because in some instances some people have looked up to me too in the past, and I have often felt the pressure to conform to their idea of who I am in order to continue to be that figure that they see in me. But really, you have to be yourself, because you cannot compromise on your own being in order to satisfy somebody else who sees you through rose-tinted glasses. They are seeing you really as a creation of their imagination rather than the actual being that you are. So this is really the dichotomy of it. So they see an ideal in you, that ideal which might not be fully manifest. There might well be elements within your person that aligns to how they see you, but the totality of your rounding as a person might not exactly be as they perceive. But then, of course, if they've perceived you in that manner and they've now put you on that pedestal as a role model, then you then find yourself then adapting and adjusting your being, your behavior, and your carriage, the way you present, in order to satiate that they have seen within you. So this is really the dichotomy of it. Of course, you'd like to be admired. Everybody wants to be looked up to in some form, because being looked up to is a form of respect. So that's the one bit. But the second bit really is this idea of role model. For me, really, this role model thing that they try and hang on people's necks is a form of hostage taking. It's like you're being taken hostage against your will, because of course you are being now packaged in a manner that is essentially not you. And if you are not you, then who are you really? You are an act, you are an aberration that is the creation of the imagination of somebody else, and you are now manifesting that aberration, that creation, in order to satisfy that they see within you, to continue to ingratiate yourself to them. It's just a complex thing. So there's a lot within what this lady has to say that I have to say I agree with. But then, of course, she is a superficial entity as well, of course, because this is one of these people that is all photoshops and primed and packaged, rented cars or not rented cars, rented wardrobe or not. It's just society, photograph, everything sort of people. So she presents herself in that manner, and if she presents herself in that manner, then it is not a reach then to imagine that there will be young, especially females, that would look up to her. So if she is presenting this sort of high-falutin, high-functioning, as a inspirational sort of figure, she cannot then, by that same token, ask people not to role model her, because she's presenting herself in a very strong image, and she's presenting it to the public to digest, and the public, of course, that digests the presentation of people like this Toke Makinwa are essentially female, and they're largely young. So you cannot present yourself as she presents and then ask the people who you are presenting to not to see you in the manner that you have created. Conversations in the comment section. Toke Makinwa doesn't want to be seen as a role model. Yes, I agree, but then, of course, her presentation says otherwise. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Then once you've done all the clickings, come tell me then what you are making of this rather thorny issue of role modeling. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.
Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone. Love with heart. And you
Hope you enjoyed that. So now we're going back to politics, and this time we're going to visit the vice president. You would recall that during the campaign for the last election, February 2019, the vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, was spotted in market squares handing out 10,000 naira to market women. But alas, all is not as it would appear to be with that 10,000 naira, and all that is captured in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I was going to start this video off by saying this is unbelievable, but then of course it is Nigeria, and what is unbelievable in other climes is the norm in Nigeria. Guys, I bring you this: no records of beneficiaries of trader money, Nigerian government official says. So you remember trader money, of course. You recall that during the election, Yemi Osinbajo was going around market squares handing out 10,000 naira to market women. So that's the trader money. So that 10,000 naira that he was handing out was meant to be a soft loan to petty traders, you know, all these women selling peppers and fish, etc., to boost their trade, and they pay it back over an agreed period of time. The money is meant to be a soft loan that has either no interest or very low interest. So a soft loan given out to traders, of course, but they have no records of the beneficiaries apparently. Again, the headline: no records of beneficiaries of trader money, Nigerian government official says. So now let's now see how they make sense of this. A Nigerian government official has said that those who disbursed trader money to small-scale business owners across the country do not have records of the beneficiaries. As a result, those who collected the loans were reluctant to pay back. It was disclosed. The Kwara State focal person for NSIP, Hajia Bashira Abdulrazak Sanusi, stated this on Wednesday. Abdulrazak Sanusi said that about 10,000 people benefited from trader money in the state, with over 1.3 billion naira disbursed to them. She, however, lamented that the people were not willing to repay the loan. She said, "Poor masses are not ready to repay the loan after collection because of the attitude of Nigerians to anything from the government, thinking it is national cake. Also, those who disbursed the money do not have records of beneficiaries like phone numbers and addresses, thus making it difficult to track them for repayment." The Trader Money Program, which was launched in 2018, is designed to provide soft loans of 10,000 naira to boost small-scale businesses. The program was formerly managed by the Office of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. So there you have it now, ladies and gentlemen. It beggars belief. It's almost from another realms. It's almost like an out-of-body experience sometimes when you listen to some of the things that goes on within the Nigerian state. So public funds we're talking about being disbursed to small-scale industries, to petty traders, a laudable thing, you would think. But then, of course, there has to be proper record. So you can't just go around the market square and look at a woman and say, "Oh, what are you selling? Pepper? Okay, take 10,000 naira. That is a loan, but you have to pay it back." Oh, and then you walk around to the next person without capturing any data of this person, or without this person even indicating that they needed a loan, or without this person understanding that this 10,000 naira is a loan. So this is what they are alleging that they have done. But then, of course, they've just gone around with cameras and identified about 10, 50, maybe even 100 people and giving them 10,000 naira. And after the cameras had gone, they are just pocketed the money, and now they are claiming they cannot find the people they gave the money to. This is Nigeria, of course, and this is what is going on. So this is going on a micro level in Kwara State, but then this permeates throughout the entirety of the system within the Nigerian space. So they'll bring out all the cameras, call out all the medias to come and witness what they are launching as a laudable program, and identify a bunch of unfortunates as props to say these are the people that are going to be impacted. And once those cameras have turned to another event, because you know it's a drama a minute within the Nigerian, look at how many dramas we've already had just this year within the Nigerian space. So once the cameras pan to another incident, they just pocket the rest of the money, and then of course they start to build houses. We've seen it with so what is his name, the Abubakar Malami and all the rest of them. They just pocket the money and use it to build a property portfolio for themselves. This is what is going on, to the point now that they're saying they are giving out loans to people, but they did not capture the data of the people that they gave the loans to. Unbelievable. And it's in fact, I was going to say it's almost criminal, but it is actually criminal, because if that actually happened, it's either incompetence or criminal, and the incompetence is actually worse than the criminality, because if anybody is disbursing money as a loan and does not have the understanding that they should have the data of the people that they are giving those loans to, that's actually worse than fraud. That is the height of stupidity, because a criminal is using its intelligence to defraud to his own advantage, but a stupid person has no hope. So either way, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Conversations in the comment section, come share thoughts. They are giving out monies as loans, but they do not have the data of the people that they gave the money to. This is not the narrative that is going on within the Nigerian space. Come share thoughts, but before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it's on screen. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me now the Oshibanjo money has now disappeared, the one that I was handing out in the market square in February 2019. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that. So now we're leaving politics again, and we're going to the show business world again. Show business this time / religion. We're going to meet Daddy Freeze and David Oyedepo. So there's an ongoing kerfuffle between the two of them, we'll put it that way. But then of course others have thrown their hearts in the ring, and all of that is detailed in this next video. So enjoy. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, for some of you who may have been following this channel for long enough, you will be aware that I have never liked that half-caste Romanian guy that goes by the name Dayo, but goes round the streets of Lagos calling himself Daddy Freeze. I have never liked this guy because I have always seen through him. The guy is a hypocrite as far as I am concerned, and his knowledge of the Bible is only to mine it really for financial gains. You would see how this guy goes around salivating and drooling in the mouth whenever he comes across anybody with an extra dollar in his pocket. This is a man that is about the money and nothing else, and you can see it in his lifestyle. It's all about the Rolex watches, the flashy cars, and the flashy lifestyle. This is really all he hankers after, nothing else, and he uses the Bible, of course, which he has studied copiously, as the pathway, as the mineral resource, as the field to mine, as the conduit to that lifestyle that he aspires to. This is a 419 guy to all intents and purposes. This foreigner in Nigeria, who is of course Romanian, claiming that his daddy is from Ibadan. That remains to be seen. Anyway, we're going to the latest controversy. And by the way, before we get into the latest controversy, if you look through the catalog on this channel, you'll see that I have done 1 or 2 videos on this particular character. So I am not just latching on this controversy. I have always been of this view about this guy. So now we go on to the latest controversy between Pastor Ibiyomi and this Daddy Freeze character, with Pastor Ibiyomi, of course, calling him BASTAR D, and this seems to have jarred his senses. And you know, of course, this guy, he likes attention anyway, so that now has prodded him to go all over social media weeping and lamenting and bringing out photographs of his family and making all sort of empty noise as he's wont to do. But then, of course, this guy, a hypocrite, I described him as at the start of this video. So now, before I show you the clip that I'm about to show you, bear in mind again the noise that he has been making, that it was called an half caste and it was called a BASTRD. So this is now what he has been lamenting, giving all manners of lectures online about how people should conduct themselves in public. So now in this clip, actually, let me play that clip now.
Anybody that tells you that Jesus was not poor and Jesus was rich is a bastard, and he has used his left hand to describe his father's house. So he's what? A legal bastard. Your pastor is in the same financial place as your house girl. Write it down. What are you talking about? Let me shriek like he shrieks. I'm talking about the... Let me shriek like he shrieks. I'm talking about the bald-headed fowl. What are you talking about? When this church made only 300 naira, were they there?
So now you saw in that clip this guy Dayo, aka Daddy Freeze, addressing this same Bishop Oyedepo and using the exact same words that he is now lamenting all over social media that is aggrieved by. So you see the hypocrisy of this guy, a gangster if there ever was one, just a no good, idoti. You know, this guy is just a clownish sort of guy. But unfortunately, if you have a bit of articulation within the Nigerian space and you have the brevity to put yourself forward, you will get a followership. And this guy seems to have a followership of the docile, the ill of wit, and the slow on the uptakes, the usual suspect, of course, the usual crowd that tend to follow all these preacher men, con men. So now we have now exposed the hypocrisy of this guy. The exact same word that he is lamenting about were the exact same words that he used in reference to the original subject matter, Oyedepo, that kick-started this whole drama that he particularly is now playing out now all over the social media space in Nigeria. Conversations in the comment section. The hypocrite half-caste Romanian guy by the name Dayo that goes around calling himself Daddy Freeze. That is the subject matter of this video. Come share thoughts. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come tell me then what you're making of this character, this foreigner. Come tell me what you're making of him. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace. Hope you enjoyed that and hope you enjoyed the compilation for this week. So now, as usual, come into the comment section, come tell me what you have made of this compilation. You can either speak to the videos individually or collectively, however you choose. And whatever your choices are, you will definitely meet me in the comment section where I will be waiting to engage with you. So click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, come join me in the comment section. Let's see what we're making of this week's selection. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here, I say peace.